There are changes coming that the world is not ready for.
We've got 1,000 or more abnormals roaming the surface unchecked.
You just told the world's governments to take a flying leap.
This is Magnus's worst nightmare.
We're at war.
At the end of last season, in true Sanctuary fashion, it was quite a cliffhanger.
Helen was thrown back through a time rift, and she landed on the cobblestones of Victorian-era London. Her whole raison d'etre is to get back to her present timeline without screwing anything up. She can't find her former self, she can't see any of her old colleagues, but of course, that doesn't happen.
Overexcited. That's your explanation for your incredibly strange attire, weapons that I have never seen, and your hair. For God's sake, when did you do that?
It's late, and it's been a hell of a night.
At the end of season 3, it definitely ends with a giant bang and a giant question mark.
I need your permission to assemble a strike team.
These aren't enemy combatants.
The situation has changed. You're way out of your league.
Oh my God.
There's thousands of them. It's an invasion.
You have all these abnormals that have come up from Hollow Earth. Our secret is slowly getting out to the governments of the world, having to deal with different government bodies.
Can't you see what's going on here? It's chaos. Abnormals are dying.
My men are dying.
Because they attack.
You're forced into season 4 with the broadest landscape that we've ever experienced.
Villanova just dropped a massive ordnance airburst on the Chilean caldera. Looks like half the abnormals are either wounded or dead.
It's very complicated, there's lots of people, and there's so much politicking going on because nobody is supposed to know about the abnormals.
Now they're coming into the light of day, and humans are now dealing with them, and of course, it's very much a crackdown situation.
That's far enough. We'll take it from here.
Who the hell are you?
Colonel Bosch, Specified Counterinsurgency Unit.
Which is?
Homeland Security's new Abnormal Hunting Division. SKU is a branch of the government that's formed to lock these Hollow Earth abnormals down, which of course goes against everything Helen stands for.
Quarantine protocols.
Subject experimentation.
There is no way the UN would sanction something like this.
Look at this stuff. Hybrid trials, medical testing. We're looking at the blueprint for the abnormal final solution.
The biggest change in season 4 is Magnus's relationship to the government funding bodies.
I think you've gotten very used to having carte blanche around the world.
And Magnus has to make a huge choice, and she ends up pulling the plug, and all of her government funding evaporates.
You just told the world's governments to take a flying leap.
The Sanctuary needs its freedom. I think, if anything, this season you'll see a much more guarded Helen. In as much as she trusts everyone, she trusts no one.
Magnus, what good is your lifetime if you don't allow yourself to connect with anyone?
For her, this season is about keeping the biggest secret, and then finally, in the end, it's revealed.
And I think it's time you told me what you've been hiding since you got back.
Not yet.
We had so much fun this year. You'll see there's a lot of fun. It's such an intense season, but the levity is still there, that levity that makes watching Sanctuary so enjoyable. Yeah, it's intense, and it's hard-hitting, and it's action-packed, and mysterious, and we do all these things, but we have the levity and we have the humor.
What is it about you and me in dark, narrow corridors?
No, it does seem to be a recurring theme, doesn't it?
That's really, really prevalent in season 4. All senses are activated when you watch Sanctuary.